You're with Chris Barth on 702 ABC Radio Sydney Drive. If you're trying to get your head around artificial intelligence and its infiltration of life and struggling to understand it all, here's a pretty easy story, I think, to get your head around. It's based on good versus evil, generally the premise of any good story. Only in this case, it's good guy chatbots versus bad guy scammers. Now, the way it goes is AI chatbots, and these are Aussie chatbots, are being used to scam the scammers, waste their time and learn their tricks in the process. This is some audio of a scam caller pretending to be from Amazon. Have a listen to this.
Hello, this is a call from Amazon's fraud department. My name is Dayton. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing okay, thanks. Sorry, where are you calling from again?
This is Dayton from Amazon's fraud department, sir. And the reason for my call today is that we flagged some suspicious activity on your Amazon account. I would like to verify with you whether have you authorized a purchase of $999.98 for a MacBook Pro to be delivered to an address in San Diego, California, sir?
You for real, mate? I'm in Sydney, not bloody California. I mean, no. I definitely didn't buy anything like that. Are you serious here?
So it might be pretty obvious listening to that the caller is probably not from Amazon. But I wonder what you thought of the guy on the other end of the phone. So he sounds like a regular Aussie guy, right? A real person using some famous Aussie vernacular. Interesting thing is the voice belongs to a sophisticated chatbot developed during 3 years of research at Macquarie University, and it's part of this program aimed at fighting back against real-life scam callers. The good guy bots were created by a Macquarie Uni startup called Apate.ai, and the co-founder, Brad Joffe, is here to tell you all about it. Brad, thanks for your time.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for having me.
I couldn't believe that bot voice was a fair dinkum, it sounded like a real caller. How does it sound so natural?
Fair dinkum's probably the right word to use because, as you said, we're trying to flip the script on the scammers and we're using AI bots that sound just like your neighbour. They come in thousands of different personalities, ages, genders. They have different aggression levels. They have different tactics in terms of the way that they're speaking with the scammers. But at the end of the day, as you mentioned, what we're trying to do here is waste the scammer's time and resources because every minute that a scammer is speaking to our bot is a minute that they can't be targeting a real victim, and also extract some really critical intelligence from them about their scam scripts and their tactics and the infrastructure that they're using to run their fraudulent activities.
So take us through how the process works. How does that scam call, a real human, even get directed to talk with one of your bots?
Yeah, so telcos are blocking millions of calls every single day based on deterministic reasoning and probabilistic reasoning. So as you would have seen today, we're working with TPG to essentially redirect some of those scam calls to our bots and extract that intelligence.
Right, and so just by having the good guy bots talking to the real-time people, you're sparing us, your average Joe from having to deal with these calls. But you're also collecting data on what the scammers are doing. What have you learned so far?
Oh, we've learned a great deal. So just some of the results from TPG and what we're doing with them, we've had over 280,000 calls that have come through to the bots. We've seen 20,000 plus organizations identified as being impersonated. So oftentimes, as you saw with that with that little snippet there, the scammers are impersonating an organization like Amazon, and we're seeing how many impersonations are actually organizations they're impersonating. We're seeing things like scam trends, metadata around the call, the times that they're calling people, the scripts that they're using, the campaigns that they're using, and even down to granular level around, bank accounts or payment instruments that they're using to run their fraudulent activities.
And how do you use that information for good? What do you do with it?
Well, that's why we partner with organisations like TPG. We're also partnered with Commonwealth Bank of Australia, the organisations that really are a lot of the time the target of these scams. That information is very, very, very worthwhile and useful for them because it allows them to essentially take down and do what they need to do to stop these scams from affecting their customers.
So what's the other people looking at this technology saying, hey, we want a piece of this? Because scam callers are just a menace for people the world over.
Definitely. I think we've got a real opportunity here now with partners like TPG and Commonwealth Bank to make Australia the hardest place in the world to target for scammers. And our mission really is to dismantle the business models of scammers globally by beating them at their own game. So if we can really make their work unproductive, so every time that they are calling someone, they can't actually scam them because they're speaking to a bot, then we're doing a great thing. And theoretically, if we can do that all over the world, then hopefully, scam can become a solvable problem.
Why couldn't we have all the scam calls eventually just directed to a chatbot?
That's our hope, I suppose, Chris.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it sounds like you've got to have a telco on board with this to get those scam calls redirected to a bot, though.
For the calls, we do partner with telcos. We can also do other things in terms of sourcing our own honeypot number ranges and doing a whole bunch of other interesting things. But yeah, we really are trying to build this intelligence infrastructure where we've got the banks and the telcos and us working together, as well as potentially government organisations as well.
How long does a call with a bot take to get the information that you need?
You'd be surprised. The scammers are usually pretty happy to share a lot of details if they think that they're onto something and they're onto a live one. So it does depend. And again, our bots have different aggression levels. So some of them are much more skeptical and they might take quite a bit of time to actually ask the scammers or prod the scammers for details. Others are much more aggressive. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, I was just intrigued to think how many different personalities you've got in the bot community. I mean, we heard from, fair dinkum Aussie bloke there. Who else have you got?
Well, we've got people who speak different bots that speak different languages. They have different accents. They really are just, designed to be a representation of the community that we live in. So they're intelligent, they're sophisticated, and they sound like your neighbour.
So what's next for this? I mean, it sounds like it's the sort of stuff that could just be applied everywhere.
Yeah, so I think there's part of that and scaling this technology in Australia and other parts of the world, but also meeting scammers where they operate. And we know that scammers don't just operate over the phone. They operate via text, they operate via email. So we've built some products as well, particularly on the tech side of things, to actually do a very similar thing over channels like WhatsApp, Telegram and others.
Wow. So, and if you're an individual and you're getting emails, because scam emails are another huge problem. I don't know how many people purporting to be from the ATO have emailed me in the last couple of weeks, but it's just like, it'd be lovely to have some automatic bot response that you could download and just send it back to the scammers.
Yeah, correct. I think that's the next iteration of what we're trying to do, get to the consumers and allow everyone to just send through all of their scams to the bots. But yeah, I would suggest if anyone is getting any scam calls or texts or emails, please do report them to wherever they need to be reported. You can report them to ScamWatch Australia because that does just really help the ecosystem.
Brad, thank you very much for your time. It's a great project. Thanks for telling us about it.
Thanks, Chris.
That's Brad Joffe there, co-founder of Apate.ai, using Australian chatbots to take on real-life phone scammers, getting a whole heap of information that hopefully will lead one day to us completely frustrating the system and breaking it all up.